Okay, in this week's episode we're looking at ways to hide your loot. So there's several go-to ways I use, and it kind of depends whether you're in just a little quick survival or if you're in your world where you're going to have lots of loot to hide on a regular basis. We're going to start with the easiest, and then we're going to work up to some slightly more devilish ones. But our first one is, if we head over to the little villager's mine, you'll notice that we're in the village in How To World. There are our domes over there. You might have seen the statue when we first started. But if we go down the mine next to the villagers, you'll notice that it just looks like a normal mine. Yep, stone walls, steps, da-da-da-da-da. But then, which one am I? There we go. What I've done is I've just chipped out a little tunnel underneath the first torch down, and I've stuck me chest behind it. So I can get to it easily enough there. But for anyone else, if they don't know that there's something hidden underneath that first torch, they will never find it. If you don't know how to make stone, when you mine stone you get cobblestone. All you do is stick that back in a furnace, and that gives you natural stone again. If you've watched the Secret Entrances How To, you'll already know how to do that. But yes, that is the easiest way in survival, just to hide your loot. Chip out a bit of stone next to a landmark that you recognise, stick a chest behind it, and you are done. Okay, number 2 then is, if you've watched the Tips and Tricks episode, you will know that I like building my floors with slabs. And there's a couple of reasons for that. But number 1 is it uses less materials, but the second one is you can do this nifty little trick. So if you take some floor out of a normal village you're building, or your own building or whatever, and just dig a little pit that's 1 block deeper than where the floor would normally sit. So that's where the floor would normally sit, that's 1 block deeper, too wide. I'm just going to stick my chest in here. I can put the floor back in either side of it there. And if you put just 1 slab either side on the top there, when you take out the block of wood, you can open your chest, because chests only need half a block clearance above them in order to open. So by putting the slab in there, you can either take out the block in front of it, or you can take out the slab itself, and you can open your chest with no problems at all. What I usually do, to be honest, is put something on top of that. So put a chest on top of that with pointless stuff in it. So some extra wood or whatever. And then I know if I chip out that first one in front, you can get straight to the chest underneath, which has got your better stuff in it. So that's quite a good sort of resource light one to use in survival. It's a handy one to just bear in the back of your mind. The chests only need half a block above them. Hello, strange butcher friend. Okay then. Good. Glad we cleared that up. So yes, they're 2 really easy ways. The third way that I like a lot, I'm just going to run down to the well here for this. Ooh, let me get a torch out, because I want to show you another trick that nearly made it into the Tricks and Tips episode, but didn't quite. So I'm just going to drop straight down to the bottom of my well. If I was in survival, I'd probably be drowning about now. So if you pop a torch on the wall, what it does is it creates a little air bubble, and you'll refill your air meter straight away. I don't have an air meter because I'm in creative, but if I was in survival, that has saved my life more than once. You just need a block that's at head height, stick a torch on it for a minute, and it refills. Hello, okay, I don't care. Anyway, back to what I was going to do. I'm hiding my stuff at the bottom of the well. So all I've done there is I've chipped out a little too wide, and then you just need a couple of signs. And you're just going to pop them level with where the well would normally go. There we go, like that. Have I got a torch? Yes, I have. Good. So by putting the signs there, that stops the water coming in. Signs stop water. It's the same technology we would use for water elevators. But in this case, you're just stopping it getting down. Now, because I've put a torch in there, unless your well's really deep, you'll be able to see the glimmer down at the bottom. So either have a torch with you and stick it when you get down there, or have a light switch down there. But then you just pop down your well. You've got a nice little cubby hole here. We'll chip out a little bit extra at the back here, and we will pop this here. So if you wanted a lamp there, let's just, let's see. If I've got the lamp makings. Redstone lamp, yes. What's that instead of signs? Redstone lamp. Lever. So come down, pop your lamp on, see what you've got, do your do's, turn your light switch off, up you go again, and that's it. So that is hiding stuff at the bottom of the well. If you just stood at the top, you're not going to see it. And it's relatively rare that people dive all the way at the bottom of just a normal village well. And if you don't have the light on, to be honest, you can't really see it from up above. Flip your light on and you're off. So that's actually one of my favourite ways to do it. I like wells, especially if I've built a well into the side of my house, because I'll have a wall there. So what I'll do is people always would always have to go in this way, and I build the lobby behind you, so when people go in and float down, they don't see the opening because it's behind them. So that's what I would do if it was in my house. So that's the well. Okay, the next two ways are a little bit more tricksy. We'll say tricksy. Where am I? Where is my house of joy? House of joy? That sounds so wrong. I don't have a house of joy, people. There is no joy to be had here. But it's this one, as it happens. Okay, it's getting a little bit dark, so I think what we'll do is we'll just have a quick nap. If the villager will get off. Oh, it's the scary butcher. The scary butcher's going to watch me sleep. Oh, and he did. He watched me sleep all night. Good. Out you go, friend. Go out. Outside. Okay. Obviously, the absolute best way to store your goods, your goodies, your excellent stuff is an ender chest. Oh, not a lever, Claire. Is an ender chest. They're a little bit tricky to make. You need obsidian, you need ender eyes, you need various things. The recipe's in the crafting table. But only you can access your ender chest. So whatever you put in there, I'm going to put some good swag in that I got from the enchanting stuff. Whatever you put in there, only you can ever get. So that's the absolute foolproof thiefy thing. But obviously it needs... you either need to be in a world where somebody's already got one that's for communal use, or you need to do some significant mining and finding and killing or trading in order to get one. So let's ignore that for the time being, and we will go back to pure mechanical genius. And if I press this lever here, you will see that underneath the floor I have a large chest hidden, a handy dandy large chest. Don't fall down this hole, by the way. Because you won't be able to get back out. So that's with a lever. If you want to be even sneakier than using a lever, you can put a stone button there, because as we've explained in previous episodes, buttons are phenomenally hard to see if you don't know they're there. And a button, because it sends a pulse, gives you just enough time to open the chest, and then the floor shuts behind you again. So if people come in, you're just staring at the floor. They can't see that your chest's open, they can't see exactly where your chest is. You might just be AFK for a little while, because the floor's shut up behind you, but the chest stays open, or your chest interface stays open. So there you go. A button is miles better. If you want to be sneakier still, don't put the button in at all. Just remember where it goes, keep a button on your person or in one of your chests, nobody pays attention to a button, and then just stick it on the wall when you want it. Ta-da! Okay, so let's just have a... I'm just going to give you a quick little look at how this is working. If I just take the floor out. As you'll see, again, it's slab floor. And if you've seen secret entrances, and to a lesser extent secret entrances, and I think the title update 19 redstone where I talked about inverting stuff, that gives you the clues to how I've done this. So if I just take all of the floor out so we can see, of course the villager's going to jump in the middle of it. Okay, so I've got the block of wood that makes up the floor, sat on a sticky piston that is locked at full extension. Let me just take some back wall out so I can get to the back as well. So that sticky piston's locked at full extension, and I've also got that hooked up to 2 sticky pistons at full extension stuck to the side of it. So if you've watched Secret Entrances and went and looked up the Jeb door, this is kind of a variation on this, just we're opening down and out rather than back and out. But the technology is kind of similar. So what happens is when you press the button, which would go above this block, this sends a redstone signal, and this side's got no delay on, so it turns off this inverter, which pulls the floor block down. The other side has 2 redstone repeaters at full tick, so that has a little bit of delay before it triggers this inverter, which pulls these 2 back. So you see when we use it with a lever, can I get out? Where am I? There I am. Let's put the lever back on. Lever. When you put it with the lever, it goes down and then it goes back. And then when you untick the lever, it goes out and then it goes up. Really simple. Really simple. When you do it with a button, exactly the same thing happens, but because it's on a pulse, it just goes a little bit faster. And you don't need to manually turn it off. So let's pop the button on there and just watch. Down and out, and then back and up. So it's really straightforward. It's really simple. And again, because you've used planks, you've given slabs. You've given your chest the half block clearance it needs to open. Apparently, I've just made a villager trap down there by opening the floor up. But this is what I was saying about you got to try not to fall into the hole once you're down there, because once you're down there, there's no way back up unless you dig your entire floor back up again. So there we go. There's your chest, and that is my favourite way of hiding stuff, particularly if you take the button off. It'll work with stone floor as well as a wood floor. You can just use your stone slabs instead. But yeah, there are 4, 5 eminently usable ways of hiding your loot. That's it for this episode. That was Minecraft How To. I'm Claire for the Angels. If you liked this video, please like, share and comment. You can follow us on Twitter, Tumblr or Facebook, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching!